Him.
Please go ahead.
Okay. Tiny changes, remarkable results. All right. Misconception. A misconception is to make huge improvements. You need to make drastic changes. However, we can make huge improvements by making small changes to our daily routine. We tend to underestimate the power of making small improvements over a longer period of time. Real change comes from the small decisions or slash small habits that accumulate to make huge changes to our lives. The power of 1%. Compounding is very powerful and can affect you both positively and negatively. For example, 1% every day for a year will make you 37 times better. However, 1% worse every day for a year can make you drop down to almost zero. And there's this quote from the book that I read that is based around this topic is habits is the compound interest for self-improvement. Habits don't look like they have much of an impact on a given day. However, the impact of a month can add up and make huge impacts. All we need is just to be patient and have some sabr. How to use 1% to your advantage. We don't think about how small changes make astonishing results. We are so unaware and underestimate the effect of compounding. It's hard to focus on things that have long-term benefits. We want to see instant change. We are so used to having instant satisfaction that we ignore the things that have long-term benefits and can affect us positively later on in our lives. Equally, the slow rate of transformation also makes bad habits creep in. When we repeat these 1% error day after day, they will accumulate into large problems. Time magnifies the margin between success and failure. It will multiply whatever you feed it. Good habits make time your ally, bad habits make time your enemy. Bad habits creep in the same way because we don't see the impact that it will cause on us in the long term. Plateau of latent potential. This sounds all complicated, but it's really just quite simple. Habits don't seem to make a big difference until we cross a critical threshold. We expect the progress to be direct, however, the outcomes are delayed. This creates a valley of disappointment, which is this part of the area. And this can make you feel quite down because you don't feel like you're making enough progress. Because this yellow line is what you think should happen, but the orange line is what actually happens. And when we don't get the results that we expect early on, this makes us give up earlier and don't give ourselves a chance. It does take time to build a habit so that we can give ourselves a chance for self-improvement. Importance of systems rather than goals. Winners and losers have the same goal. Every person in the class wants the highest grade, or every football team wants to be the best in the world. Goals can sometimes make you feel down and you become unhappy because you didn't reach your goal or you still haven't reached your goal. Achieving a goal is only a momentary change. For example, if you want to clean your room, you have to get that energy that makes you get up and clean your room. But if you continue your bad habits that led to the room becoming messy in the first place, you're just going to repeat. You're just going to have to get that same energy to make your room tidy again in a few days. Goals restrict our happiness. There's this saying that once I reach my goal, I'll be happy. And this can restrict our happiness because we are always unsatisfied until we reach our goals. And lastly, goals are at odds with long-term progress. The purpose of setting goal is to win the game. The purpose of building a system is to continue playing the game. In every sport, the goal is to have the best score, but it would be ridiculous to spend all game looking at the score because it wouldn't help you. So if you ignored the score the entire time and just focused on a better process or playing a better way, then you probably will get the best score in the end. You don't want to limit yourself. Sorry. You don't want to limit yourself because because of your goal, because this will hinder and prevent you from becoming more successful. And so you want to keep playing the game, and when you pass that goal, you want to push yourself even more, even more. The 3 layers of behavior change. First one is outcomes. This is concerned with the changing the results. Most of the goals you set are associated with this level. The second one is process, our habits and systems. Process implements a better or new routine for our habits, because most of our habits are built with this level at this stage. And lastly, identity. Identity is the way we view the world and make judgments about others or yourself, and it's related to our beliefs. Most of us work from outcome to identity instead of identity to outcome. When we solve problems from outcome instead of identity, we solve the problems temporarily. However, the way to solve it in the long term is by solving it by our identity. For example, an outcomes perspective instead of identity's perspective would be when you want to stop being lazy and become more fit, for example, and healthy. You try to say to yourself that I want to, for example, lose this body fat. So you start to eat like low carb food and start exercising to become a healthy person. However, your identity's perspective is you say to yourself, I'm a healthy person. So because I'm a healthy person, I will, for example, eat this healthy meal instead of ordering pizza. The difference is you'll act as a healthy person and not try to be a healthy person. How to build a habit. The 4 stages of building a habit is cue, craving, response, and reward. First one, cue. This triggers the brain to initiate an action. The second provides the motivational force. The third one is response. It's the action or habit that we perform. And lastly, reward is the end goal. These 4 stages leads to the 4 laws of behavior change. The 4 laws of behavior change. Make it obvious. Design your environment around your cues. You want to put fewer steps between you and the good behaviors and more steps between you and the bad ones. You will be gently nudged to the right direction each day. For example, if you want to become productive and go revise some, for example, biology, rather than surrounding yourself with temptations such as your phone, you should make it less obvious or hide the phone, keep it in a different room or something, and put your, for example, biology book right in front of you so you can go and it stimulates your cue and you will be motivated to do it. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala
2. Make it attractive. Humans are motivated by the anticipation of reward. Making habits attractive makes us more likely to stick to the habit. Number 3, make it easy. Reduce the friction between you and the habit. Put yourself in a good environment for the habit. This helps avoid procrastination, which is just like dozing off and getting distracted. If you put yourself in an environment, for example, if you want to study, you want to put yourself in an environment that's for studying. For example, go in a quiet room or go to a library instead of staying at home surrounded by temptations. And lastly, number 4 is make it immediately satisfying. Our brains prioritize immediate reward rather than delayed reward. What is immediately rewarded is what is immediately rewarded is repeated, and what is immediately punished is avoided. For example, when we just go on our phones aimlessly, just scrolling, it's like a way of it gives us a sense of enjoyment. But we know that scrolling through our phones will affect us in the long run, and we should try to attach immediate gratification and satisfaction to other habits such as studying, and make it more fun so you can avoid being distracted by phone and do more productive stuff. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Hassan, for this very useful talk. It's a very, very important concept you're relating to. So making small habits to bring about big and long-lasting changes, inshallah. Can I ask everyone to just reflect on some of the ideas that Hassan has mentioned? His topic, his presentation had a lot of information within it. So just have a think about it for a few seconds, and then please share any thoughts, and certainly if you have any questions, please ask Hassan. This is a good opportunity to exchange ideas. Okay, so Hassan, we have a written question for you, if that's okay. So they start with such an inspiring talk, well done. And the question is, do you have any personal examples of small changes you have made so that you can share with us?
For example, I've already said an example in the when I went to study, I try and put my book in a place where it's easily accessible and like in front of me, so it stimulates my cue, and it makes me go and want to read that book. And I try to avoid my phone, like putting it in a different place, in a different room, so when I study, so that I can focus on it and not be distracted by other things.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Hope that answers your question.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Hassan. Any other questions? Please feel free to unmute your mics and ask a question directly if you wish.
Okay, go on.
Any questions or comments? Okay, so well done, Hassan. That was a very, very good talk, and thanks for choosing this topic. Can you stop sharing your